Welcome everyone to Neverwinter on PC. My name is Rainer and today I'm going to look at the changed MOD16 insignia bonuses. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you would like to see more information or videos about Neverwinter, hit the subscribe button. Before we start off, a small disclaimer. Some insignia bonuses as of now are still broken. So don't go rushing in to get it and be sad when they fix the bonus. I will mention which ones are obviously broken and in the end will be fixed. What I did to make sure that I got all of the insignias is I made sure that I have a couple of legendaries. This is on preview, guys. Each of my slotted legendary mounts has a different fixed slot. So this one has a crescent, this one barbed, this one regal, this one illuminated, and this one enlightened. There are 5 different insignia types, so this covers everything. I could go over the insignia bonuses in this screen, any type and any stable mount, but then you would miss the history of the bonuses, so I made yet another overview in which you can compare the old and new bonuses and see which bonuses are gone and which are new, because that's also the case. So let's go to that overview. Here you can see it. I already color coded some stuff. Let's just start at the top. We still have Alchemist Invigoration. It was there. Whenever you drink a healing potion, you are granted 5% more power and defense for 10 seconds. Has been changed to whenever you drink a healing potion, you are granted 2,500% more defense for 10 seconds. Well, talking about broken and will be fixed. Insignia bonuses, this one will be broken. Of course, this is better than it was, but that's just because it's broken. Then Alchemist's Refresher. This is when you drink a healing potion, you're granted 2% more power and defense for 10 seconds. Gone. Does not exist anymore. The next one, Artifices Influence. Whenever you use an artifact, your recovery, movement, action point gain and stamina gain are increased by 5% of your power for 15 seconds. Also gone. Now that I look at it, is everything that just uses 2 gone? No, here's also something else gone. But I can see there's no bonuses anymore that only require 2 insignias. It's all 3 now. Okay. Maybe I have to recheck that. Anyway. The next one is Artifices Persuasion. This is the same as the previous one, just 10% of your power into recovery, movement, action point gain and stamina gain when you use an artifact power. Really powerful, and a lot of people are using that. Now when you use an artifact power, your defense, critical avoidance, deflect and awareness, so all your defensive stats are increased by 2500 for 15 seconds. Big nerf here. Yeah, cannot say much else about that one. It's just a big nerf. This was very popular to get your recovery, movement, action point gain and stamina gain. So this made your party really fast. The next one is Assassin's Covenant. It used to be you lose 10% of your defense, deflection and lifesteal and gain the combination of lost stats as power. So this was really focusing all your defensive stats into power. Now you lose 1000 of your defense, deflection, critical avoidance and awareness, and you gain 1000 accuracy, armor penetration, critical strike and combat advantage. So you lose 1000 of all of your defensive primary statistics and you gain 1000 of all of your offensive primary statistics. Really lackluster, not worth it anymore. So this one is also, yeah, this can go into the dump. This is not worth it. Next one, Barbarian's Delight. Whenever you perform a critical strike, you are healed for 0.5% of your maximum hit points. This effect can occur once every 2 seconds. Gone. Barbarian's Revelry. Whenever you perform a critical strike, you heal for 1.5% of your maximum hit points. Occurs once every 2 seconds. This one is actually buffed slightly, so now you are healed for 2% of your maximum hit points, and it can still occur every 2 seconds. This is probably buffed, this percentage, because you will critical strike less. So this is a buff of the power, but maybe you will not get it as much as before. Then Berserkers Rage used to be, while you have full action points, you gain 10% of your armor penetration as power. Yeah, action point gain is 10% as power. This is again to increase your power. Now it's when your action points are over 90% full, so you get it quicker. You gain 2500 critical chance, so the buff is a lot less good. While your action points are below 10% full, gain 2500 deflection. So there are two sides now of this bonus. Both are minor flat stat bonuses. Next up, Cavalry's Warning. Used to be whenever you activate a mount power, you gain an increase of 10% to your power, recovery, armor penetration, crit strike, defense, deflection, regeneration, and lifesteal. So this one was probably used by everyone who had a legendary mount. Now whenever you activate a mount combat power, you gain 1000 to all your ratings for 10 seconds. 1000 instead of 10% of everything. So big nerf again. Probably still one of the better ones, but extremely big nerf. But yeah, this also made your party really strong actually. Champions Return. Whenever you are reduced to 50% hit points, you instantly recover 20% of your stamina and are healed for 20% of your maximum hit points over 10 seconds. This effect can only occur every 60 seconds. Has not changed at all. So this is still something that you can use to heal up slightly. It can only occur once every minute, so it might not be that great, but this is something to look at. Maybe if you're a tank, get some stamina back and hit points back. Next up, Champions Struggle is basically the same, but half of the stamina back and half of the maximum hit points back. It's 2 insignias and it's gone again. Yeah. Next up, Combatants Maneuver. Whenever you control an enemy, you gain 5% combat advantage for 10 seconds. Combat advantage damage 5%. Now whenever you control an enemy, you gain 2500 combat advantage damage for 10 seconds. So this is obviously also broken. This one and this one is obviously broken. I don't know if there's more. This one is also broken. So 3 of the 4 that are buffed are broken and probably will be nerfed to be less good again. Anyway, Gladiators Guile. Oh, so many people were using this. When your stamina is above 75%, you move 15% faster. When your stamina is below 25%, you gain 15% of your power as stamina gain. Now it's whenever your stamina is above 75%, you move 10% faster. So this is 5% debuff, nerf, not a debuff. When your stamina is below 25%, you gain 10% stamina gain. 10% stamina gain is probably also less than this. So this one has been nerfed a bit. Saying that if you stack Gladiators Guile, it's a little bit broken somehow. If you stack 2 or 3, you'll be flying around the map at the moment. Will be fixed, by the way. Next up, Knight's Rebuke. And this is an interesting one because it wasn't there before. It's a new one. Whenever you receive combat advantage damage from an attack, you are healed for 1% of your maximum hit points over 5 seconds. No cooldown. So whenever someone with combat advantage hits you, damages you, you get 1% of your hit points back. This might actually be a good power because there's no cooldown for tanks. So this is something to look at. Magistrate's Patience, there are still a couple Whenever you perform a critical strike, your target will gain a stack of Magistrate's Consideration. Enemies affected take psychic damage equal to 10% of your power over 4 seconds. Allies affected by Magistrate's Consideration are healed for 3% of your maximum hit points over 4 seconds. So this did a lot of damage and a lot of healing. Now it is, whenever you receive damage from a critical strike, you gain 2500 critical avoidance. And up to 4 teammates receive 2500 defense for 5 seconds. Can trigger once every 10 seconds. Yeah, this might be something for a tank, although tanks probably have critical avoidance, so they don't get crit. Yeah, I don't know what's this gonna be used for. Magistrate's Restraint is gone, so let's not read that. Oppressor's Retrieve. Used to be well, it's still the same actually. No, this is actually a slight buff, but over 5 seconds is over 4 seconds, so it heals you slightly more over 1 second extra. Oppressor's Respite is gone. Protector's Camaraderie. When you summon a companion attacks, you gain 3% of your power and defense for 10 seconds, can stack up to 4 times. Which is now whenever you a summoned companion attacks, you gain 200% of your armor penetration and defense for 10 seconds, can stack up to 5 times. This probably is going to be 2% stacked 5 times, so this is 10% armor penetration and defense. It used to be power and defense. So this is gonna be red, I think, in the end. I think this is gonna be 2. Protector's Friendship is gone. Shepherd's Devotion, also something that many people used. When you use the daily power, your teammates' defense, deflection and movement are increased by 5% of your power for 10 seconds. This actually worked on your buffed power, so your party got a lot of defense, deflection and movement. Now, whenever you use the daily power, your teammates' defense is increased by 1500 and their movement is increased by 10%. So these are more basic increases, not based on buffed power anymore, so that's always sad. Next up, Slayer's Bloodlust is new. Whenever you kill a target, you gain 500 critical strike over 5 seconds. Critical strike, something you want to have flat typically. So I don't think this one is a good one. Slayer's Redemption is gone. Survivor's Blessing. Whenever you deflect an attack, you're healed for 3% of your maximum hit points over 4 seconds. Now, whenever you deflect an attack, you are healed for 1% of your maximum hit points over 5 seconds. I have no idea why you would ever pick this over, oh well, this is not deflecting, this is when you have CC. But yeah, it's healing you for 1% of your maximum hit points over 5 seconds. It's hardly worth the effort. Survivor's Gift is gone. Traveler's Treasures is the same, so this is the new power that was recently introduced that gives you some rough astral diamonds when you kill enemies. Vampire's Craving is gone. Lifesteal stuff. Vampire's Thirst is gone, also lifesteal. Victim's Preservation is the same. Whenever you take greater than 30% of your maximum hit points and pre-mitigated damage from a single blow, you are healed for 10% of your maximum hit points over 5 seconds. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. Still the same. Yeah, 35% hit doesn't happen that often, I hope. Maybe for a tank that is being healed a lot, to help with the healing. This might, for a tank again, be something interesting. Healing is actually pretty important. This should be a G. Wondrous Fortune. The text has been changed a bit, but it doesn't say anything about the 4%. So it used to be you have a 4% chance after killing a foe to find a refining stone at your feet. After a few drops there is a 1-day cooldown. Now it just says you have a chance after killing a foe to find a refining stone. Does that mean that the chance is changed? No idea. Does it mean that the cooldown is gone? I also don't know. I did not check. But this might be something interesting if the cooldown is gone, which I highly doubt actually. Next up, Warlord's Encouragement is gone, it's removed, and Warlord's Inspiration, your summoned companion does 20% more damage, is staying the same. So this overview, as with all the other overviews that I'll be releasing, I will link in the description. It will be available on Google Docs. So I hope it helps. I will update it once there's a patch and the values have been updated, the stuff is fixed. I hope this helps. If you have any remarks on this video or any suggestions on what to investigate next, feel free to leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.